This is Saturday Morning Mysteries.
And we're your hosts, Alexis and Grace.
Hello, good morning, and welcome to another episode of Saturday Morning Mysteries, where we're your hosts. I'm Alexis.
I'm Grace.
And our journey on the Magic School Bus, our ride on the Magic School Bus continues. The Magic School Bus rides again. I just can't get over
We
that
ride at dawn.
title. We ride at dawn for the frizz and the bus. And yes, we are riding a little bit later than dawn today, but Grace is going to be steering the ship, steering the bus. She's going to take us on another adventure with the frizz, and I'll hand it on over to her.
Perfect.
Any business to cover? I don't know.
No, probably not. I don't know.
We don't do business here. Yeah, we'll think about it when we come to it, if it happens.
Exactly. So today I am doing season 3, episode 2, which I'm not going to tell you the name of yet because it gives away, like in my last episode and the one before that, exactly where we go on the episode. So,
but that's the best part.
Get to it. We'll get to it.
All right.
We kick off today in the cafeteria of the school, where Arnold is stoked as he waits in front of this giant machine that's in their cafeteria, like in line. Mm-hmm. And he has a mug with him, and he is so amped up. He is so excited. And finally, a lunch lady comes out to serve whatever's in this machine. But naturally, it's not just any lunch lady. It's, of course, Miss Frizz, who is inexplicably dressed in, like, I think I'm probably going to say it wrong. I'm sure I am. In like a, it's the like German woman, like a Drindle.
Oh, God.
Drindle,
yeah. Like,
Drindle?
I guess the female lederhosen or whatever.
Yes, exactly. Like German, like Swedish Drindle. And Liz comes out wearing lederhosen with a cup of marshmallows.
Oh, no. So Swiss. Perhaps.
Yeah. We're going for this.
But
Swiss,
like same, Germany, Switzerland, Switzerland.
That region.
Mm-hmm.
Arnold is perplexed by this, but like doesn't really care too much.
As are we.
As am I. Very much so.
Where you get those, girl?
And why? Why?
Yeah, why you get those?
Notably.
Yeah.
So yes, Arnold is perplexed, but doesn't care too much, because they turn the machine on and pour Arnold a piping hot cup of hot chocolate.
Gotcha.
So, as a total side note, like hilariously, just for us, like just for you and I and our listeners.
Yeah.
At the very start of the episode, as we like zoomed in, it was clearly fall in this episode, and like leaves were falling, and there's like a brisk air, and everyone has like a sweater on. And I was like, should I hold this for our nebulous arc in November where anything goes?
Yeah, anything goes.
As long as
Damn.
it's loosely fall related.
Yeah.
But that's the only glimpse of fall that we see. Yeah, it's the only requirement for November.
Our literal only requirement for episodes in November is that a leaf at least must be falling off of a tree, because it's so damn hard to find Thanksgiving themed episodes. Yeah, so it's like anything that signifies fall, and you squander it.
That's it. So I did think about not doing this episode, but I was like, it's literally the only time fall is mentioned at all.
But that's the literal bar. That's our bar. Like, fall doesn't have to even be mentioned. If a calendar in the background shows that it's November, they don't even have to say it, or like October even. Like, they don't have to say it. We will cover that episode.
We will get it.
Which, just as like a note now, like on our soapboxes, any animators or like cartoon writers out there, please make more Thanksgiving and like fall episodes, because we need more stuff to cover.
Yeah.
So
where's it at?
Anyways.
Come on now.
Off my soapbox.
Yes. So anyways, I was just talking about that. And Arnold is through the roof happy about this hot cocoa. He says with a big whiff that he would do anything for hot chocolate. He would go to the ends of the earth for it. He just loves it so much, especially on this chilly fall day, if you will. Fall.
Saying.
Let me emphasize. I know I fucked up. We're gonna record this, then I'm just not gonna release it until
You're gonna use it
November.
as our last Magic School Bus episode, so at least it
Yeah.
like leads into
Get into
Halloween
fall.
at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Arnold goes to sit with his classmates, but his usual seat is taken, and so he instead goes over to sit by another or sit at another table that's right by a window. And the window's a little broken, and so a big fall breeze comes in, but he's not bothered that it's a little chilly by this window because he's got his hot chocolate. What's the big deal?
Mm,
But unfortunately,
fair.
as he sits there and the big gust of wind comes through, it immediately, this is the most aggressive wind I've ever seen in my life, it completely cools off his entire drink. Like,
Aw.
it is, if not ice cold, at least tepid, lukewarm,
Yeah,
room
at
temp now.
best. Mm,
Yeah,
poor
much to
Arnold.
his chagrin. Yes, and by his chagrin, I mean his absolute detriment. It is a full travesty to
Don't
him.
downplay it.
He
He's not just a
lit-
little annoyed.
He literally stands up and throws his arms in the air and screams, "Where did all of the hot go?"
He's had a rough day.
Oh, my
He's like, this is
hot
literally,
chocolate.
this is like the shining moment of my day. Everything else
Yes.
always goes wrong. Accident prone Arnold, and he still
Literally,
can't even get his hot chocolate right. Poor boy.
his seat was taken by a kid in like another class. Like I had never seen this
Yeah.
kid before in
He
my
wanted to
life.
sit by Wanda. Oh,
He
wait, like that
literally wanted to
legit
sit by
happened.
Wanda. And then it was a kid in like fifth grade who took his seat.
Oh, fuck. That's a threat too. He's like,
That's a huge threat. Fifth grader, who
I'm
also
not even gonna
Alexis
remember when she went in my stomach.
was a redhead too.
Oh,
It
poor
was.
Arnold. Oh God, this
It was
is
a bad
deep.
day for Arnold.
This is
And
deep. Poor
all he
Arnold.
wanted was just some hot chocolate, and he couldn't even
Mm,
have that.
dang.
And not a single kid is fazed by this, by the way. No one
Of
is like,
course,
Arnold,
no,
you
these are
good?
Arnold problems. These are Arnold specific. Nobody cares. Poor
Everyone's so
kid,
used
which
to
makes it
it.
even sadder.
I
Yeah.
know, not even Wanda. But the Frizz does notice, and she and
Oh,
Liz
good.
lock eyes, and we see Frizz's earrings light up, which we know
Mhm.
that means it's
Just
field
perfect.
tripping time.
Hmm.
And unclear how she rounds up the kids, how she explains what they're doing now. I guess she doesn't have to, since it never matters. Also unclear, though, as to why they were in a drindle and lederhosen, because we now cut to the Aurora Borealis.
Oh,
Walruses, an icy
whoa.
tundra. We're not in the Alps. We go to the
You
fucking
didn't,
Arctic,
you didn't even give me time to like speculate. That's so
no,
polar opposite of
if you
where,
will.
if you
Yeah,
will, I will, of where I thought they were gonna go.
right. We're going
There
back to
was
the rainforest to get the cocoa
that
beans.
for all I knew, chocolate, I
Yeah.
don't know.
Right.
So the
Germany is
lederhosen,
Switzerland. That's why they're in the lederhosen. They're going to go to the chocolate capitals. Nope. We go to
yeah,
the Arctic.
interesting. Because I mean, yeah, I get it with like the hot chocolate thing, Swiss Miss chocolate, etc.,
Yeah.
Switzerland, all that. But
Yep.
yeah, then so never mind. Okay, all right.
It will eventually become clear, but the setup was purposely
A
misleading, I
little,
think.
a little clunky,
A
perhaps.
little not smooth. They
Little,
could have, she could
yeah.
have,
We love this show, but
they could have chosen a different outfit, is what I'm saying.
okay,
They should have
interesting.
chosen a different
Yeah,
outfit, is what I'm saying
there.
here.
It's definitely an Easter egg, though. They're getting us ready.
Yes.
Apparently, according to what
Well,
you're saying.
Well, I mean,
Maybe
like,
I don't know.
they
I
should
don't
have
know
just
this
worn something
episode.
different. We have nothing
Okay.
else to do with lederhosen drindles.
You're
There's no
like, I mean,
yodeling.
sure, it was an Easter egg, sure, but no, they shouldn't have done
Well,
it at all.
I guess what it is, yeah, their fits perfect, wonderfully confusing. But the hot chocolate, I was thinking they were going to emphasize the chocolate like you were.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
instead, we're going to emphasize the other part of that statement of hot chocolate, of
Oh,
the hot side of things. And
where
why
did
things
the
go
hot go?
down. Where did the hot go?
Okay.
So now that they're all nebulously just in the Arctic, somewhere,
You make that sound so casual.
literally, Alexis, did you know? This is me being
No.
Dorothy Ann right here.
According
But
to my
according
research.
to my research, the Arctic Circle is about 4% of the Earth's surface. And the
Hmm.
countries that have land in the Arctic Circle include Denmark, Canada, Finland, Iceland, Norway, Russia, Sweden, so I guess Sweden,
Okay,
and the
sweet.
United States, namely Alaska. So like maybe the
Ah,
Sweden was the leader who was in situation,
I guess. No,
but
Denmark, Danish people. Um,
yeah, but it's Greenland that's in there.
oh, well,
Yeah.
hey, they brought their culture to Greenland.
Hey, hey, don't
Yeah,
diss the
come on.
Drindle,
Hey,
okay?
just like
Hey,
just like British people brought their culture here to the United States, they brought their culture to Greenland.
to Greenland. Perfect.
For better or
So,
worse.
for better or worse. So, yes, now that they're all here in the Arctic Circle nebulously, the Frizz, who is now wearing a snowsuit,
Do their parents know?
do their
No.
parents know? That's why I wanted to point out how big the Arctic Circle is because they could
Yes,
be
thank you.
anywhere,
I see that now. Exactly. And the fact that
anywhere.
you keep saying nebulously, which also is
Yeah,
like one of my favorite words, by the way, just
yes,
like the
it's a
vagueness
great
of it
word.
all. I'm like, there's
Yeah,
somewhere in there.
they're
That's
somewhere in 4% of the
so
Earth's surface.
dangerous.
Pick a
It
spot.
sounds
So
any spot.
dangerous. It's so
4%
dangerous.
of the surface. Yeah, any
Did
spot in
they
that 4%, which is a lot.
accidentally end up somewhere in Russia? I don't know.
Well, and I'm glad you like listed off, yeah, the countries too.
Yeah.
It's like they could be in Dutch or in Danish territory. They could be in
Yeah.
United States territory. They could be in fucking Russian or I guess no, this was the 90s, so not Soviet anymore, but still
But
Russian
you still want to have
territory.
wound up
Yeah.
randomly lost in Russia, probably in like the
Yeah.
Arctic parts of Russia.
Hmm. Great.
Yeah, excellent.
It
And
could either be in
Frizz,
Russia or NATO territory. Sorry, that's all I'll
yeah,
say.
those are
We'll
the
end it
only
on
two
that. It could
options.
be bad. Yeah. It's really bad either way.
Yeah, either way, even no matter what you're in, you're still in danger.
Yeah.
Especially because Frizz, who she's now in a snowsuit, she's got walruses and snowflakes on it.
Hmm.
And she is explaining that, yes, she thought what a better way to explain heat, like in hot chocolate, than in the land of ice and cold. But
Mhm.
the kids like are not listening because the kids just have their regular school clothes on. They do not have snowsuits,
She didn't
Arctic
prepare.
level down insulation suits on. They are,
Mm.
Wanda's like in her t-shirt and vest. Like, speaking of, who cares if what country we're in right now? We're gonna die soon.
We're dying regardless. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter. We're not going to die from military conflict. We're going
Yeah.
to just die from frostbite.
Yeah. Like any second now.
Yeah.
So, yes, they're all too busy shivering. They got their school clothes on to care what Frizz is saying right now. And Frizz
Hmm.
realizes this and is like, oh, right. You guys seem cold. So she like hits a button on her console or whatever on the Magic School Bus. And some light fall jackets come down for all of the kids who eagerly put them
Oh,
on.
which
Thank
also,
you. I know, fucking another fall episode.
damn it.
I'm I'm holding it. This is the last
You
episode
know,
of summer 2025, only to emerge in fall
if you
2025.
do it next fall, I'll probably forget about it by then. So it'll
So
seem brand
true.
new still. So just
So
save it for
true.
2026. Yeah.
Perfect.
Come back to it.
Yeah. So yes, their fall jackets on.
Mm.
And so the kids put them on, but it is, yes, simply not enough. Amidst the teeth chattering for the kids, the Frizz is like, certainly there's got to be more like jacket options. I had a fucking trench coat and like detective wear. I gotta have at least one down jacket on this bus.
Dorothy Ann's like filing through them, like, no, I wore that last
No,
week.
no,
No, I don't want a
no,
fedora
no,
today.
no,
Yeah.
that won't match my holster. No.
She kept that.
But unfortunately, none of the other jacket options. She's got like a little catalog of what she could give the kids.
Hmm.
Nothing's in stock. She didn't stock up for winter time yet. Only
Frizz.
a light jacket right now.
Hmm.
And she and the bus are pretty distracted by like going through like this catalog and trying to figure out what they can give the kids for more jackets. That they're not able to stop before the bus completely just plows through some water that has been exposed from the ice, like an area where
Oh
the ice
no.
has broken apart.
Yeah.
Luckily, the bus makes it out. It like is able to plow through and get on the other side,
It
but
is magic.
not magic enough to not have its engine
Frozen.
completely flooded and frozen. Um,
Yeah.
as is the rest of the school bus also freezes, including its power, and it's just like a giant icicle now.
Oh no. With under protected or underdressed
Yep.
kids inside. Yeah, great.
Hmm.
They're safe.
They're so safe
Super.
that Keisha pops open a window to look outside and is just going, "Oh, this is bad, bad, bad. This is bad. This is bad."
So safe.
And
So safe.
like it very quickly escalates. Wanda sees this and slams the window shut in front of Keisha and is like, "Do not open the windows. That will let all of the heat out." So like
Hmm.
correct, but also the stress is already
Settling
escalating,
in. Yeah. Yeah.
settling in. It doesn't help that Dorothy Ann casually comments looking at one of her books that this area, again, not this named area, this area can
Just
get up
4% of the Earth's
this
surface.
4% of the surface can get down to negative 100 degrees Fahrenheit.
That's nothing. That's fine. We're
That's
fine.
fine.
We're gonna be
And
okay.
the tension needs a release. And so they say, who got us here? Who was the inspiration for us to get on this trip? And of course, they turn to their favorite scapegoat, Arnold, who
Mm,
inspired this trip by complaining about his hot cocoa, his hot chocolate. Arnold, it's
that's
all the
not
same
fair.
day. Arnold's like, all I wanted
Yeah,
to do was sit next to Wanda and drink my
I know.
hot
And here we are
cocoa. I
now.
got her extra marshmallows, and now these kids are about to push me out into the Arctic
Let
Ocean.
me freeze here.
Yeah, let me
Yeah,
freeze
and
to
are
death.
blaming me. Like this wasn't my idea. Miss Frizzle put words in my mouth like she always does. I
She
never
was
once
a
said
lederhosen. How was I to
Arctic.
know? What was I to
How was I
do?
to know?
But the turning on Arnold gets put on hold by a actual emergency,
Mm.
which is we see Liz, a little lizard,
Ooh.
cold-blooded animal,
Hmm.
making their way down the aisle of the bus before suddenly collapsing. So Phoebe runs and grabs Liz and puts Liz in her jacket and like holds the jacket really tight to try and warm Liz up. But someone else is
This
like,
is the
at
first
my
good thing.
school.
At my old school, we never let our class lizards die. I was just going to say, this is the first thing Phoebe's ever done in this show, other than like talk about her old school. It's like, wow, Phoebe
Literally, yes.
actually helping. Yeah,
Literally, this is
good.
it.
This is it. Sorry.
No, I mean, it's accurate though. Although I do remember when I was first looking up all the characters, Phoebe's like one personality trait was that she loved animals. So I was like, ah,
Okay.
none of the episodes
Sorry.
had
No
to do
more
with
Phoebe
animals yet. So
slander.
she didn't
My
care
bad.
about Arnold's stomach. There's no animals in here. Space, there's no puppies.
Don't give a shit. Yeah.
Yeah. Liz is
Yeah.
in
That's
trouble, saving the day.
jumping into action. Now Phoebe is now the main character that we've been
Yeah,
waiting
she's
for all
gonna be the
along.
veterinarian in this episode,
Hmm.
basically.
Good. Good
But
to know.
someone else, I think it was Ralphie, noticed that right as Liz was collapsing, Liz, who was again like on in the aisle of the bus so she could see underneath the seats, like very like shakily pointed at something underneath one of the seats and then collapsed, which I was like, this is yeah, this is how a horror movie starts.
It's just
How, like an
now
alien
it's like a
invasion
murder
horror
mystery.
movie.
It's fucking The Thing. There's like
Yes.
there's a there's an alien that's going to start impersonating all of them. Liz was pointing to it underneath the
Trying to tell
seat of the
them.
bus in the Arctic. Yeah, they are the research crew. They're all
Now,
about to be infiltrated. Miss Frizzle is going to pull out a flamethrower any minute.
any second.
Everybody draw blood. Everybody right now.
Put a pin in the
Sorry, The
Miss
Thing is
Frizzle
like literally
comment.
my favorite movie ever too. So
Also,
I
now
love
we're
this
just
episode.
now give this entire episode a John Carpenter soundtrack.
Done. It's done. Kurt
Easy, say
Russell
less.
is wearing like Miss Frizzle's dress with like the walruses and the snowflakes on it. Yeah, we're Freaking Keith David, another personal favorite of
Another
this
icon.
podcast. He's
Yes.
been there doing so. He's Tim. I don't know. He's doing something. He's drawing everything
Yeah,
for
he's
us.
sketching everything
Yeah.
for us, the play-by-play.
Yes.
So yeah, that's exactly my thought of like,
Great.
this is the beginning of the end.
Yes. Incredible.
So yes, they crawl under and they pull out a heavy wooden chest, which is also scary, just on principle of a mystery chest. But they open it up and they see that on the top of this chest, there's definitely stuff underneath still, but on the top of it are a bunch of pink glasses. And the only way to describe like what these glasses actually look like is to just flat out tell you what like they're meant to be. Like they're meant to be like infrared goggles, essentially. Is like it's like they're like in that shape. And the Frizz and students call them heat peepers, which like I don't like. I hated it.
I was gonna say, oh, cute. Let's go with it. Never mind.
I hate it.
It's it doesn't quite roll off the tongue. It's a little.
No.
eh.
But yes, basically it allows anyone wearing them to see heat waves. So they can
Okay.
see the rays of heat as they put them on. They see rays of heat leaving everyone's body as they are shivering there on the bus. So they're like, oh, interesting. We're cold. We see heat leaving our bodies. So next, as they're going through, they extremely conveniently find some firewood.
Oh. I can't even react without laughing to that. Just laying out in the middle of the Arctic, not frozen, totally dry. Convenient is almost an understatement. That's like a blessing. That's like,
Well, so the firewood was in the chest.
oh, sorry. Okay,
But
I see.
also
You're
so funny
okay.
because,
But
like,
still,
who made this survival kit? Someone who knew
exactly.
they'd be stuck out here for a long time.
Exactly. It's like, why did Miss Frizzle put firewood in the like safety
Exactly.
chest of the bus?
Yeah.
It's like big red flag.
Right. It's
What
like
did
this
you
is
have
like
planned here, Miss
it's
Frizzle?
an inside job through and through type of thing. No one
Yeah.
was supposed to find the chest.
She acts so surprised when Liz points it out, like, oh,
Firewood,
wow,
crazy. So they all, yes, go outside the frozen ass bus and get a fire going. And apparently there's no jackets on this bus, but there is a tea kettle. So Frizz starts making tea for them.
I didn't even think about that. There's no jackets here, but there is firewood. That's
There
why
is
she's like, listen, we
firewood.
can only carry so much weight. The kids won't need a super heavy jacket because we have firewood to keep
Right,
us
we got
warm.
firewood. We'll stay by the wood. And all else
Yeah.
fails, flamethrower.
Exactly.
One
Told you
step
they would
away.
have one on there.
But unfortunately, when I said firewood, I meant like a couple logs, and
Oh.
they are burdened through this quickly.
Yeah.
But these children, ever smart on their feet and in the face of death, as they have been so many times, one of the kids realizes that the chest they've been looking into is made of wood. So
Oh,
if they
oh God.
break it apart, they can
Mhm.
burn that shit too.
It's true. Gosh, it's getting violent, but yeah, that's
Alexis.
getting a little last resorty, but
This entire episode is a last resort.
Every choice they make is like, all right, guys, last chance. We're running out of firewood. Guess we gotta burn the safety box to stay alive.
So it's also so funny. Also, from this our third episode we recorded today, so we get a little wild. We get a little
That's when
crying
things
as
get a
we
little
laugh.
squirrely. We're gonna be
We get a
going for
little
like 4
squirrely.
hours.
So
Okay.
Ralphie and Phoebe get back on the bus to get this firewood, and when you said get a little violent, they just push it off the edge of the bus. They don't like take it apart. They just yeet it off. Like,
Nicely take the nails out, set it up into a nice pile.
They
They're like,
just-
get the shit out of here.
they push it out like the emergency exit on the bus, and it shatters.
2 birds, 1 stone, man. 2 birds, 1 stone. I feel like we needed to break it up anyway.
Yeah. We don't have an axe. What else are we gonna do?
God. Miss Frizzle is probably just like standing behind them watching like, good kids, good.
Yeah.
I
Our
was
lesson
trying to
today
think,
is in social dynamics and social experiment.
survival. We said it last week.
Yes.
She's just a teacher as a hobby. Her real passion, or her real bread and butter, I guess, is like
Yes. Being a spy.
mercenary
Yeah, mercenary.
espionage. She's like, these kids
Yeah.
need to learn how to survive in tough
Yeah.
conditions.
Yeah.
She's
You
like, I'm
learn
not going to
now.
hack the wood up for them. I'm going to sit here,
How are they
watch
going to get the
them,
wood?
and
What are they
say,
going to do?
hey, kids, oh no, we're stuck in the Arctic. Oh no. And then she just sits back and watches the rest, like watches them piece
She's
everything
she's got like
together.
hand warmers stuffed in her snowsuit. She's fine.
She has like a whole bag of food. She just like sneaks away, like, okay, guys, I'm gonna look for something to save us real quick. Looks around like
No,
eating
no, no, no,
granola
no,
bars,
no. Yeah.
like protein bars and
Yeah,
shit, and comes
totally
back up.
fine.
Oh, good, good. You guys found the extra wood in there. Good, good.
How are you going to get it? What are you going to do with it?
Interesting. Yeah, now
Interesting.
what? Now what? Oh
Yeah.
no, we don't have anything to get that box out of here made of wood. Oh yeah,
Now what?
emergency exit. Good idea.
Perfect.
Oh no, we don't have an axe. Sorry. Oh, good. You just smashed it on the ground. Perfect. Good, good kids. Good. You're
Perfect.
learning.
She's also like taking notes of like how quickly do they devolve?
It's like a time trial.
Yes.
She's
Like,
tested this with other students before. This is the
she's
best
like,
case yet.
do you all know what happened to my last classroom? Have you ever heard of like what is it, the soccer team that got stuck in the Andes? How quickly it took for them to eat each
The
other, but you know
soccer
what?
team.
They survived,
Actually,
god damn it.
that's what it was. She like changes roles every school she goes to.
Yes,
She was a soccer
coach.
coach at that school. Now she's a science teacher
Yeah.
here. Oh
Exactly.
man, we're on to you, Frizz.
So
Good Lord.
yes, they
Great.
shatter this chest for the wood.
Good.
And in the process, wouldn't you know it, they see what was below the glasses, which is a bunch of like hot water bottles, like the containers for me, like the ones that like, yeah, you just fill up with hot water. It's like a rubber
Oh yeah.
type of thing you
Like
put on your tummy.
like bags and stuff.
Yeah, yeah,
almost
like the
our
bags
packs.
for it.
Yeah.
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 And so they conveniently were brewing some tea, which makes me, yes, say, Frizz knew exactly what was going on. She was heating up the water for them in advance. Like, how long till they
This
find
bitch
the hot
brought
water
tea with
bags?
her.
Check.
Yeah.
She knew she had to heat up the water
Got it.
somehow.
Like, okay, these ones are good. These are much better than the last trials that I tested. They're
Yes.
doing really good. They're on
Perfect, perfect.
it. Yeah.
And so, yes, they fill up the bags with hot water from the kettle and they stuff the bottles like down their shirts and jackets and start warming up. And then someone, maybe like Arnold or Carlos, realize that if this hot water bottle feels like it's defrosting us, because that's how they feel as they're warming up, maybe we could somehow use hot water to unfreeze the engine of the bus.
Mm.
So being like, we need something hot to help melt things.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, they don't get the chance to test this theory. And you're probably wondering why. Why?
Yeah,
Why not?
I am.
The bus is right there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, their scheming and putting things together is interrupted by something that happened in my last episode, which is the screams of children.
Oh, great. A common theme in this show.
Common thing. Screams that seem to be coming from the bus. The bus where Ralphie, Phoebe, and Liz still were when they pushed the chest off.
The
The
thing
bus
from another planet.
and the thing from another planet and the thing.
It's the thing.
The bus that now has ice cracking all around it until we hear a huge crash, a huge crack, which if you ever heard like a glacier break before in fall, it is so fucking loud.
Yeah.
Before the ice all around the bus fully breaks off from like the mainland ice that the rest of the students in the Frizz were on. And now just a small ice floe with a bus, two children, and a lizard on it starts to float away from shore. So
I'm I'm waiting for like a killer whale to just like jump up and like break it or something.
right, how like killer whales will tilt
Worst
ice to like
possible,
knock the
yeah,
seals off of
get the
it.
seal. Oh man, just thinking of worst possible scenarios because this is already
They're
a
already
worst
in it.
possible scenario.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're fully in it.
How much worse could this get? Slightly worse.
Well, we'll find out.
Oh, great. Great.
Naturally, all the other kids start sprinting after the bus. Again, they're on like an icy shore. They're screaming at them, which is like not helping. Ralphie is
Yeah.
screaming back, also not helping. Phoebe,
Hmm.
who's still holding Liz in her coat, just mutters,
Aw.
at my old school, we never got stranded on ice floes.
It's like, thanks, that's helpful. Helpful information
Yeah,
right
you
now. Go
asked how
back to
things
your
would
old
get
school
worse.
then.
They're already getting
Yeah,
worse.
they're getting
The
worse. They've
tensions
gotten worse.
remain high.
Hmm.
And eventually, the kids are tiring, obviously, of running after the bus. By the way, they also left their fire. They just abandoned their heat source
Oh, great.
to run after this bus. What the fuck are they going to do to get this bus back? And in this process, they realize that their hot water bottles have now gone cold, making them
Mm.
start to shiver again, also presumably because they were sweating. So now they're also wet, which then means you're going to be a little colder when that starts to cool
Hmm.
down. So Frizz, who's just, yes, as you said, I literally wrote casually watching all this happen,
Observing, if you will.
observing, had explained kind of like here and there, and I just didn't put it in when it was coming up, but like the concept of insulation. So basically being like, yeah, like you should stick the hot water bottles in the jacket to create another warm layer type of
Yeah.
thing. Or like, oh, you saw the heat rising from our bodies. If you have a jacket on, it helps trap that heat.
Mm.
And so one of the kids, I think Arnold, realizes what they, oh yeah, it definitely is Arnold, realizes what they need more of, which is insulation. And I
Mm.
said that about Arnold because I think he's like, you know what? I'm already in too deep. They already hate me. You know what? They're going to hate me right now again, but I know I'm going to be hero right here.
Yeah, I've got
So
a solution.
I've got a solution. He turns to our fact-checking bookworm, Dorothy Ann, and
Hmm.
starts ripping pages out of her book
Oh
and
no.
stuffing them into her jacket. She is in absolute horror.
I
She is
imagine. Yeah.
like fight, flight, or freeze. She goes full freeze, also because she's freezing. Like just like mouth agape, like cannot believe what she's seeing.
Just do what I think you did.
Yeah, but it makes sense. Like
Hmm.
it's more insulation. You got to do what you got to do. Again, Arnold's like, I have
Yeah.
to be the one to make this move.
Hmm.
And on the bus, Ralphie and Phoebe are fully shivering, teeth chattering, starting to pale a little bit on their freezing icicle.
Yeah.
And somehow, they have a pair of binoculars and they see far away that, yes, they see like the kids stuffing the paper into their jackets. And so they go and they're able to find the bus manual of like, like every car has like a car manual.
Hmm.
And so Phoebe starts ripping it apart too and stuffing them in her jacket. Yeah,
Uh, doesn't sound like the best book to like. I mean, like, last
correct.
resorty,
You
very
know
last
what? Last
resorty.
resorty. Ralphie does
Yeah.
say maybe this will teach us how to turn the bus into a helicopter so we can escape. And Phoebe points
Yeah.
out the bus is frozen. What are we going to do? And so he
Unfreeze
follows
it
suit.
and
Yeah.
then turn
Figure
it
out how to
into a
unfreeze
helicopter
it.
and escape using the
Yeah,
manual that you are now ripping into
we're not getting
shreds.
Frizz back. We don't know how to get back to shore. We're gonna
No.
figure this out on our own.
Yeah.
But yes,
Like, I get it if it was literally the only book on there, but like if it wasn't, you guys just made the wrong choice.
well, let me tell you, they absolutely did not finish exploring this bus, as
Okay,
we will
great.
see in a bit. But
Great, great,
yes,
great.
Ralphie is like, she's taking charge.
I'll
I
stand
don't
back
know what
and
else
let
to
her.
do. So he
Yeah.
stuffs it in too. So yes, at this point, I'm thinking to myself, they've already devolved here into survivalist mode. They've
Yes.
broken down what they have left of their supplies in the wooden box, of their society in their books, and of themselves. And
Fancy
I started
books.
thinking about all of my favorite insane survival stories out there in
Yeah.
various Arctic settings. Especially, I already mentioned the one that happened in the Andes with
Hmm.
I think it was a soccer, or maybe it's a rugby team that they did end up surviving some of them, and it's crazy. There's a really good
Hmm.
coverage of it on last podcast.
Hmm.
It's a very good story. But I also started thinking about the mysterious ones where there were no survivors.
Hmm. People
So
went missing.
Alexis, let me
Mhm.
briefly pause to tell you
Ooh,
an
ooh, yay.
extremely, extremely, extremely shortened version about one of my favorite one of these stories.
Hmm.
Keeping in mind, please, that there's entire full-length podcast episodes and series just about this story. So this is a very short version. I think
Hmm.
I've probably mentioned this by name before on this podcast, I'm sure during a winter episode, but I'm going to now fully tell you, well, I'll tell you SparkNotes version, besides just the name,
Uh-huh.
of the Dilatov Pass
I knew
incident.
you were gonna say this.
Yes.
How did I know? Dude, okay.
Yes. Because we're the
Very happy
same.
you're doing this. I did just listen to a podcast that talked about this literally last week too, though,
Yes. Hell
but it's
yes.
already foggy in my memory. So please do recap it
That's
for me.
okay.
I love
Yes.
it.
I love this
Love
story
it.
so much. It's so interesting to me. So, the
Yeah.
TLDR is that in 1959, a group of essentially like professional Soviet skiers, I emphasize
Hmm.
that because they knew what the fuck they were doing, went on an expedition to the Dilatov, and I might be saying that wrong,
Something like that.
Dilatov Pass
Yeah.
in the Ural Mountains. And they were very, very prepared. They knew what they were doing. But some mysterious accident happened where all of them died. And six were
Hmm.
from hypothermia, which makes sense when you consider
Yeah.
that when they went back
Cold as
and
fuck.
they eventually found, because they went missing, people went to go look for them. And when they
Hmm.
found their campsite, it makes sense that some died for hypothermia because some of the tents were ripped apart, like torn apart as if with a knife,
Yeah.
which, it could have happened with a very, very
Suspicious.
scary, yeah. It could have been a weather event that could have ripped open the
Very
tent,
strong
but
winds and
yeah,
yeah.
it did seem to be cut from the inside though, which is
Mm.
a little
Winds inside the
sus.
tent, that's
Yes,
yeah,
classically.
sure.
And they also weren't found all together in the end, all the bodies. But if there's a
True.
crazy weather event happening, you can get discombobulated. You might
Yeah,
leave in a panic or a rush. You're gonna have to get out ASAP. There's probably
yeah.
bad visibility. It's the middle of
Hard to
winter.
communicate.
Yes, hard to communicate. You're gonna get separated.
Yeah.
But, a various amount of them also had almost no clothing on, while others had the clothing of other people on them,
Oh, so that would be like
which,
severe discombobulation. If,
yeah, which like could
yeah,
be either like, yeah, you're sleeping and you wake up in this crazy weather event, you just sprint out whatever you have.
panic rush. Yeah.
Panic rush. It also could be sometimes when you get hypothermia, like you think you're overheating, like people want to like take the clothes off that they're wearing because their bodies are saying they're overheating when in reality they're freezing.
Hmm.
Again, you're in a rush. Also, though, like honestly, if you're dying of hypothermia and your friend is already dead, the smart thing to do is to take their
Take their
clothes.
clothes. Yeah.
Yes, to increase your chance of survival.
Sad but true. Yeah.
Yes. And so, like, all of that is like things that could be like, this is okay, a weather event caused such discombobulation and chaos and da 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 da. But what was like really wacky about this incident was that there were a couple interesting injuries on some of the bodies that they found further away from that campsite, and they didn't find it until months later, like when the winter snow melted, which included a major skull fracture, major
Mm,
chest fractures that would have required
mm,
forces. The autopsy said that would have needed to be as strong as a car crash,
mm.
but it said that there was no additional wounds that would have happened in a car crash. So, like, think like cuts or bruises or something like
Yeah.
that, or open skin.
Broken lacerations. Yeah.
Yes, it's
Broken
like
bones.
just these various major bones, your skull and your
It's
chest
like
were
one blunt thing
fractured.
hit them in the chest or the head, and that
Exactly.
was it.
Yeah,
So it's like
one
also
force.
you could probably cut out falling off of a cliff or something because you would be
Exactly.
you would have bruises, cuts
Yes,
everywhere. Yeah.
exactly.
Hmm.
And all four of these additional bodies or bodies that they found later had soft tissue damage to their
Mm.
head and their face. And they were found at like the bottom of a creek. But most notably, a couple of them, one was missing a tongue,
Mm.
their eyes, part of their lips, facial tissue, and fragment of skull bone.
Mm.
Also, someone was
Mm.
missing eyebrows. Another one, I think both their eyeballs were gone. And then also reportedly there was radiation found on one of their clothing, some of their clothing.
Mm,
So a wacky, a
mm,
little wackadoo here
little,
of what
little
happened
suspicious. Those are not injuries consistent with
with an
hypothermia,
avalanche.
falling off cliffs. Yeah, with
Yes.
anything really known to me. Any one thing. I
Yes.
could see someone saying like, oh, well, maybe a bird was picking at their dead bodies or something like
Yeah.
that. Like, yes, and these conditions that even the humans
Great.
could not survive,
Yes,
Like,
exactly.
I
Or
don't think
like
that vultures are up there or
right
scavenger
at
birds
this
are
time
up
of
there.
year. And that they couldn't find them
Exactly.
because they were under the snow at that point
Exactly.
for like
Frozen.
months.
Exactly. Which also I would
Yes.
think would mask the scent that would attract them in the first
Right, the
place to a dead
scavengers.
body. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And if they'd been scavenged,
anyways.
they would have had like other body parts chewed away
Ripped
at
off
too.
or
Yeah.
exactly also true. I
Yeah.
doubt that any like mountain lion is going for the eyebrows
Right.
of a
Yeah,
human
the
for their
brows
dinner.
only.
Yeah, not also
Yes.
the arm or hand. Yeah.
Yes. So the
Ugh.
investigation and some of the photo negatives and diaries of the skiers were found, or the investigation
Mhm.
found the photo negatives and diaries of some of the skiers, that they
Mhm.
were kept secret and like not released to the public by the Soviets until the late
Shady.
90s. Yeah.
Hmm.
And then it didn't enter the public domain until like 2009 or something like that. Like you could
Hmm.
only, like, I think until the 90s, the Soviets didn't even say it existed. And then the 90s, they said,
Hmm.
well, we do have these things. And then it
Yeah.
wasn't until like 20 years later again that, or like 10 years later, that they allowed other people to see them.
Released it. Yeah.
Yes. And so there have been a multitude of investigations,
Yeah.
both official ones by Soviets and then Russia, both by armchair sleuths, both
Like
by
us.
like us, both by people who are like actual like professional skiers and survivalists,
Hmm.
like snow experts, all this kind of stuff. And there's a lot of explanations ranging from avalanches to a very specific type of like violent wind that does happen in the Arctic, to, of
Yeah.
course, things like Soviet military tests that they either got caught in or a little
Yeah.
too close to, or, of
Hmm.
course, Yeti. So,
The latter two are my favorite explanations. Of course, the things that are the least likely and reasonable, or the
yes,
most conspiratorial, I should
Oriole.
say.
Yes. And that's why I like
Yeah.
this story so much. I think it's so fascinating. And
Yeah.
like,
Because there
I
is no
think,
clear answer.
yeah, and I think in the last like even 5 or 6 years, there was another big recent investigation, which of course debunks a lot of things, explains the weather
Hmm.
conditions. A lot of things like are also based on the fact that like we were kind of saying like the discombobulation of waking up in like an avalanche and a horrible
Yeah.
storm, like they even though they were professional skiers, they all were basically
Yeah.
making bad decisions, like not obviously
Yeah.
victim blaming, but like they were in a state of full panic and just were making poor
Yeah.
decisions and thus bad
Hmm.
things.
It's chaos.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's hard
absolute
to make
chaos.
good decisions, even as an
Yes,
expert in like
exactly,
life-ending circumstances, potentially
exactly.
life-ending or literally life-ending circumstances.
Yes,
Yeah, I think the biggest one of the what makes this case so interesting, like you said, like all the possible theories, whether they're total
yes,
conspiracy kind of cuckoo theories like
yeah,
aliens, yetis, whatever,
yeah. The thing.
government, Soviet government, yeah, um, but it is also the fact that like these weren't people hiking for the first time. These weren't people
Yeah,
going up into
exactly.
the mountains for the first time. Like they should have had every reason to understand what they were getting into and like all of the
Yes.
knowledge to survive it and get away. And yet it still happened to them, which just like for everything that you look at, like, oh, well, it could have been the wind or it could have been this or that. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, but these guys were experts. Like you think that they would have done
Yes.
something differently. But like you said, the chaos of it all,
Yeah. Well,
if
even
if that is true, I haven't heard like the new reporting on like, oh, here's our
yeah, I
new
haven't
theories
fully
or
looked
whatever.
into it.
But
Yeah, but including
to the
being like,
extent that
yeah,
that's
professionals would have
reasonable.
known where to set up camp that wasn't in
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
or like they would have assessed the avalanche risk and yeah, all
They
this
would have
kind of
known to
stuff.
sleep in base layers and not run out of their tent naked or
Right.
whatever,
Like
just like stuff
nothing.
like that. Yeah. But again,
Yeah.
I'm not an expert skier. I'm not an expert mountain climber. I'm not an expert Arctic explorer or whatever.
Mm,
And I've never been through or survived an avalanche, so I cannot for one say how I would react in that sort of situation. But as an armchair sleuth, as you called
Yes,
us,
as we call ourselves.
I can speculate wildly about how wrong these guys were.
Right. Both how wrong they were and also how they still made better decisions than I would have. And
Yes,
still,
exactly. At the same time. Yeah, I wouldn't have even made it up the mountain. I would have died on the way up. I wouldn't even. Yeah.
Exactly.
So who am I to judge? So,
yes.
Yeah.
But at the same time, what's up with the eyes and tongues being gone?
I know, and that it's like the small things like that are crazy.
I think is what takes it into that like conspiracy and also the like 50s Soviet Russia or like USSR always adds that little drizzle of conspiracy
right. But then I love a good conspiracy, but you do have to like approach those with some reason too. And I guess if they did come across some secret Soviet project, I would ask like, well, why did they only get rid of their eyes and eyebrows and like their tongue? I could see the symbolic like, oh, you'll never see or speak again, but like, no, just kill them. Just don't leave any evidence of anything.
And
like
also this was
that's going to draw more attention to the area.
Yeah. And also this is a spot where people went to go ski and like there's like a trip that had done like the week before this group. Like
so like why did no one else come across the secret?
Yeah, exactly. Like
thing.
Military operation. Like they would have known this is an area that mountaineers come to.
Right.
People come up here, like,
and I can't think of any amount of wind. I'm not a meteorologist or a climate scientist, but I don't know of any wind that can like cut someone's tongue off. Like even maybe their tongue was hanging out as they were like passed out or unconscious, and then it froze and broke off or something,
and then someone ate it.
But I don't know. And so I think that all of this speculation that we're doing basically proves that it either had to be an alien or a Yeti. Basically,
I'm just saying,
but also that's
this episode's gonna go.
Again, why do Yetis only want the eyebrows? The Yeti he needed more hair.
He was like, ooh, I love this eyebrow trend here in the 50s. So thin. Let me peel those on.
Yeah, it's weird. It's
a crazy story.
It really is, and these kids are about to experience the same damn thing, which makes it even crazier.
Again, like I told you, things have already devolved. Shame,
they're burning
pride,
wood. They're in that manic stage right now. Like just throwing wood off the fucking bus, lighting whatever they can find on fire.
They're trying to cut out that bus, Phoebe and Ralphie, trying to get out of here.
Yeah.
So, yes.
Crazy. Thanks for that recap, though, too. Great.
Of course. It's so fascinating.
Maybe unsolved mystery. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very fascinating. And again, if you want a not unsolved one, again, go listen to I do think it is a rugby team, not a soccer team, that got stuck in the Andes from a plane crash. That is a survival story. Very intense. They did what they had to do. Eventually survived. Crazy story.
Yeah. And watch Yellow Jackets as well, a show that probably was inspired by that. Good. Yeah, I'm still on the first season because they just released all the episodes like on Paramount Plus, and I'm like, oh, I love it so far. It's incredible.
Yes, I've heard incredible things.
Yeah.
So yes, back on land, Frizz is looking through those heat peepers, and she sees a huge.
I'll call them that after that serious discussion.
Heat peepers. She's putting them on so her eyeballs don't get plucked out by who knows what. She's ready.
And okay, last tangent. I'm sorry, and then we can get back to this. But it also, speaking of like a tongue being cut out and eyeballs coming out, it makes me think of the movie Jeepers Creepers, which I'm sure you've never seen because it's a horror movie. It's actually one of the scariest movies I've seen. But it's from like the early 2000s too, though. And there's a song like Jeepers Creepers, where'd you get those beepers, or where'd you get those peepers from the eyes? And so now you're calling them heat. I'm thinking of Jeepers Creepers. It's gross. It's disgusting. Maybe he was at the Dyatlov Pass. It was him all along. Sorry.
I also somewhat recently went and looked up that song because it was like, oh, is that song actually from that movie, or is it like I think it's like from the 50s or something like that.
Yeah, it came up before the movie, and they used it for that
old ass song, and I was like, what the fuck was this song made for?
Yeah, creepy ass song. Very weird. Where'd you get those peepers? Like,
maybe it was made after this incident.
Where'd you get those eyes? And it's just like that, that weird, like, not weird at the time, it was normal, I guess, but to us now, listening to modern music, like music from the 50s and 40s can have like that creepy vaudeville-y kind of like.
A little bit of a bridle in their voice.
Yeah, it's just, it's very unsettling.
Yes.
And I'm sure it wasn't when it came out, but that movie definitely messed it up.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyways.
So I mean, he could
Heat
be there.
peepers.
Who's to say? Maybe peepers.
That's what I'm thinking. Anyways.
There's a lot of horror happening on this
Yeah.
4% of the earth.
Yeah.
So, the Earth's surface. So, yes, she has those on and she notices a huge heat source just inland from the shore. And as she points and says to the kids, like, oh, look, like, put those peepers on, kids. Like, there's a bunch of heat over there. All of the kids sprint off in that direction. They put the glasses on without asking any questions. But they sprint off so quickly that they don't hear Frizz say, but I should warn you. And her warning gets lost with the wind. And it's a warning that they really should have heeded because those kids run right up to a big, bulging, perhaps breathing heat source. Perhaps roaring heat source. Because, yes, it is a polar bear. One of the worst things you can run into in the Arctic.
The worst.
And I did think about doing a polar bear deep dive here and like how to survive in the Arctic with polar bear country and that kind of stuff. But I'm just going to say, after you've listened to every single one of our episodes, listen to Tooth and Claw. Alexis
yes.
and I love that podcast. They have
Yes.
great polar bear episodes. They dive into polar bear attacks and also like how you move in polar bear country for safety, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But needless to say,
Snow
polar
walk,
bear,
perhaps rather than sand walk.
yes, exactly. Yeah, what's the sandwalk we have to do?
Like sliding around and everything in the snow.
Still uneven beats for
Little
sure.
scurry.
Always.
And then, yes.
What? It's like a little Arctic seal, like the little baby ones, because they're all like white still.
Going after you. Yeah. Ride the seal.
So, yes, polar bears are a bear that if you see in the wild close up, you don't want to be seeing in the wild close up.
That's the last you might see of anything.
Yeah, it's bad news bears, if you will. And
Literally.
we did.
Good one.
So,
We did.
yeah. So, luckily, Frizz has her own survival plan here. She knew this was polar bear country. This is where I was laughing about the flamethrower. It's not a flamethrower, but
oh man,
she gets out what straight up looks like a gun. But the gun has like a little radar on top of it. But she just points and shoots at the kids and the polar bear.
I imagine it looks so badass. I imagine her like over it like popped out of the emergency skylight in the bus, like big winter coat on, like totally getting car get locked.
Or she's like behind like a snowbank.
Yeah. I imagine. I don't want to believe otherwise, so don't describe it.
No, and you shouldn't and shan't, and we don't.
We don't. We won't.
And we shan't. So yes, she shoots this, and from the like pink radar looking thing on top of it, basically an enormous tornado shoots out from it and picks up all of the children and Miss Frizz and shrinks them all down to like hair follicle size, where they land right on the polar bear's butt.
Oh, perfect. Perfect.
Safe.
Which, ew, also, yikes. I feel like there's probably a lot of gross stuff on there that you don't want to run into.
Not good. And look, honestly, I thought the rest of this episode was about to be on the bear butt, and I was like, this is very fun. They're here for like a minute. Like,
okay. This is very fun.
They're like,
could be.
This is crazy. What kind of crazy forest are we in? And Keisha climbs like one of the hair follicles and she's like, guys, we're on the polar bear. Oh, but they realize because at like on the skin of the polar bear, it's like really warm. They like want to start taking their jackets off, but it's just another lesson about insulation and how the bear keeps warm. But the bear starts itching right where they are because it felt something land on them. So, of course, it eats them out onto the snow, and they go back to being full size and somehow lose the bear, and they go try to find the bus again. So it's literally like a paragraph on this bear butt, but still fun.
That's cool, you know.
And speaking of the bus, the things are continuing to get weird, as they want to do in these situations.
Yes.
Ralphie, this man is spiraling. He's naming all of the things that he says he'll miss from being alive.
Oh no,
He's
no, no, no,
pizza,
don't do that.
hamburgers,
Every time.
pizza, skateboarding, pizza.
Pizza again? Oh God.
Phoebe is literally like, get it together, Ralphie. Slaps him.
Slapping him. Shut
At
up,
my
shut up. We're gonna
school, you
survive.
weren't a little bitch.
At my old school, we were never allowed to succumb to devastation and accept death and
Yeah, at my school,
despair.
we accepted death as a natural way of life.
In my school, we slapped the shit out of little bitches who tried to scare us into dying. Ugh.
However, she gets distracted from her, we'll call it pep talk to Ralphie.
It's a good one. It's a good pep talk.
It's effective
Got to slap yourself into some
into
pep.
survival here.
Yeah.
But yes, she is distracted from her pep talk as a whole ass squad of multiple walruses scoot
Mm.
up onto their ice floe. Exactly, big head
Mm.
shake. Because thanks to a quick Google search, walruses can weigh up to about 4,400 pounds,
God.
like male walruses, 4,400 pounds, while
Yeah.
short buses, which is magical school buses,
Yes.
granted, is way heavier. It's 20,000 pounds, but
Okay.
there's multiple
Yeah.
walruses who get up on that
Yeah.
tip of that ice floe and start to tip it
Uh-oh.
slowly but surely. And this obviously also snaps Ralphie out of his spiral and despair. And they just start making like a lot of noises and like screaming. And they luckily are able to scare the walruses off before they flipped into their icy graves. But
Mm.
seeing the walruses does make them start to wonder now about insulation. They missed the lesson on land about insulation. They just saw people shoving
Oh,
their jackets of
that's
books, so they just copied them because
yeah.
they start asking like, how do walruses survive in the water? Like, how do any of the animals survive in water?
Hmm.
And one of them remembers like, oh, I think it's because of blubber. Like that's what all of these like sea creatures in the Arctic have, and it lets them
Hmm.
swim in the freezing water. But like what exactly is blubber? Like, oh, it's a type of insulation, I guess. So like, okay, maybe we need to find some insulation. And so this is when they now search the rest of the bus. Would have been great before they ripped up the manual.
You know? Hey,
They weren't thinking
I
straight.
guess
They were hungry already.
hindsight is not 2020 in this
No,
case. Actually, I guess
nope.
it is, but it's
A
still
little too
blurry.
late. Well, so yeah,
Yeah,
still blurry. They're hunger. They're cold. They're
you're
hungry. They're
right.
cold. Everything's a little blurry here. All they look out is just spanning of ice and water. They're starting to
Walruses.
hallucinate a little. The
Yeah, it's getting a
walruses.
little
I am the
crazy.
walrus. I am the walrus is playing in the background.
I
Cuckoo,
am the walrus.
cuckoo. Ralph is just
Oh
staring out the
boy.
window saying, I am the Eggman, just like hands pressed.
It's like, okay, yeah, they are going
It's
crazy.
not going. If the kids get back to the bus, they're not going to like what they find.
Uh-uh.
Even more so.
They're a yellow submarine, if you will. Okay, I'm done.
Even more so, they're not going to like what they find because they start searching that bus for
Oh
something to
no.
insulate them. And oh boy, Alexis, do they find something to insulate them? Phoebe sticks her hand right into like a compartment on the bus,
Mhm.
and all we hear is like a squelch noise as she pulls her hand out, and it is dripping, oozing with lard. There's a compartment on this bus just full of raw
Lard.
lard,
Just fat.
just
Just
fat.
hanging out there. Miss Frizzle was like, we're going to start a fire with the wood. We're
Mhm.
going to melt the lard down. We're going to fry up some baby seal for dinner tonight. This is how we're surviving.
Kids get that polar bear.
It's a bear. Kids ever had fried
Some
bear
fried bear.
before? Not the best, a little gamey,
Little
but you
gamey,
know
but
what? In these circumstances, anything will do.
and Alexis,
Oh
anything will do right
gosh.
now because
Oh
she,
my God.
Ralphie, and Liz straight up slather themselves head to toe in seemingly endless and inexplicable lard. immediately to
Yeah,
warm
who's lard,
themselves
by the
up.
way? Miss Frizzle? Whose lard is
Miss Frizzle?
this?
Where'd the walruses go?
Where's
Miss Frizzle?
Miss Frizzle?
But
How did you
Frizz,
get this all melted down so quickly if it is from the
what
walrus?
happened to that fire? Where did you
Frizz?
go when you went behind the bus?
How long have you been storing this lard? How long have you been collecting this? How many animals had to die or be
What happened to your
tortured?
last class, Miss Frizzle? Miss Frizz? Where's your last
Frizz.
class? Why is she running
Like
away?
as they're lathering themselves in it, they're like, "Hey, by the way, where did you get this from?" Frizz,
Frit,
Frizz,
where can she hear
is
us?
she here? Where'd she go?
Where'd she go? Is she riding a polar bear? Wait, no, that's a snowmobile? Into the
She has,
distance.
she has heat warmers on her hands.
She have an electric blanket on?
Yeah.
And Alexis, I really mean it when I say they slather themselves on because we
Ew.
see them run off the bus because they've now spotted the kids on shore who have also now spotted the bus.
Yeah.
And the Ralphie and Phoebe run out and Liz is with them onto the ice floe and they start jumping up and down, waving at the kids who, yes, have caught up with the bus and are probably very concerned as to what they're looking at. And this, I think, goes to what we were saying of there's definitely a monster or alien or something, because all you can see of Ralphie and Phoebe is like, do you remember our Powerpuff Girls episode with the glue monster,
Yeah. Yeah.
Elmer?
Elmer. I
That's
was like,
what
what
the
was his name?
lard looks
Elmer.
like is glue, and
Ew,
all you
totally
can see is
coding.
like their eyes, nose, and mouth. That's it. And
Which
they're
actually,
screaming.
in some points of the thing, of John Carpenter's version at least, it is literally a goo monster.
Yeah, yeah. So when you said
So,
that, that's why I was like, just wait, Alexis.
oh, it gets
Hey,
it
that
gets
was
even crazier.
this was in the 90s. The thing came
So
first.
they were,
So
yeah, the animators and the writers absolutely saw the thing
there's some
and
inspiration here.
they knew what they were doing.
Yeah. And
Hmm.
like, let me tell you, if I'm Keisha on shore, if I'm Dorothy Ann,
Yeah.
if I'm Tim on shore over here, and I see my classmates seemingly melting, I don't
Hmm.
know what's happening, but essentially melting ooze and screaming and jumping, I would be like, we're not getting back on that bus.
No, we're staying right
At
here.
least the monster is isolated on that
Yeah.
ice floe and
It'll
not on the
die on its
mainland.
own. It
Yeah,
probably can't swim.
nature
Yeah.
will
It
take care
doesn't
of
like water.
itself.
Ugh.
Yeah, they're goners for sure. But seeing all of this, Frizz whistles to Liz, who's kind of woken up now because she's all warmed up from the lard,
Good.
to
Good.
hit it. And Liz scurries back inside and hits a button on the dash. And from the roof of the bus, a giant, like, air horn thing emerges and starts firing heaps, gobs, if you will, of lard across the icy expanse and right onto Frizz and the class. And once properly covered, Frizz leads the way by leaping into the freezing water and swimming to the bus on the ice floe because they are now basically walruses, fully insulated, covered in lard. Yeah, to which I say, now what's the plan?
Yeah. And to which I say, and again, I'm not going to question Miss Frizz here. And maybe they'll talk about it in the Ask the Producer. I don't think lard does it quite work that way.
I think they just needed a fat. I would
Yeah,
say no. I don't think,
because like if you put something with a lot of fat in it into the fridge, the fat solidifies
yeah.
and it still
Yeah,
gets
blubber's
cold.
not liquid
Exactly.
either.
Like it's an insulator, but it's the same thing as like if you just like wrap yourself in like asbestos, it's not
Yeah.
gonna, well, first off, don't do that, but
Right, first of all,
like
don't you?
it's because it's behind a wall that it
Yeah.
keeps things
Yeah. We're
warmer
basically saying
inside. It's
walruses have skin around their blubber. They have a skin sac. These
yeah,
kids are
exactly. Like
just,
there has you can't just put lard on you and it's
yeah.
gonna make you warmer. It'll make you slide around a lot and shit. But
Correct.
like you maybe put the lard on you and then another layer on top of that and it'll hold that warmth in
Yeah.
more.
Yeah.
But I don't know, maybe I've been misunderstanding
Well,
lard.
I think like
But I see what they're trying to
if you
say.
put any type of layer on you, it will warm you.
Sure.
It'll insulate you for a little bit, but like this lard was melting off. I
Yeah.
agree it would have been solidified so you couldn't have put it on you in the first place.
Yeah.
Because if you warm it up, it's melting off because it's lard.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the
And
reason
also, if you jump in the water, it's just falling off you. Like
yeah,
if you manage
right.
to like
Their skin protecting
somehow,
the lard from the
yeah,
walruses and the whales and stuff,
yeah,
and even humans. Like, yeah,
yeah,
humans
exactly.
have fat and stuff in them, and
Yeah.
it
We
keeps
got
us warm because the
skin
skin holds it in
holding it
and
in.
keeps the temperature at a
Yeah.
certain like
Yeah, exactly.
stable.
Yeah.
So,
No,
but
you're
I see what
absolutely
they're trying
correct.
to say.
They're
Like, oh, you
trying
got
to
to be
say,
like the
look, we have
walruses,
blubber, we
and
needed some type of fat,
exactly.
we had to dive
I get it.
in. But
Hmm.
yes, you are correct. And again, they were like, how are we gonna make them look like the thing?
Yeah. We need to tie in the
We
alien
gotta shoehorn
invasion
this
of it
in
all. So
somehow.
they just got to lather it on.
This
Just
is our
lather it
nod.
on.
Yeah.
Yes.
Our artistic nod to the thing.
Science be damned.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So, yes, apparently, though, the Frizz does have a plan, and it's the last lesson of insulation, which, just saying, Frizz could have led with this
We're
as a
finding
great
this out
fucking
more.
lesson, which is what's a really good insulator when you're in the Arctic beyond lard or a polar bear's butt, and you have ample amounts of it everywhere? Snow.
Uh,
They should have, from the jump, just built a
Eskimos and
fucking
indigenous folks,
igloo.
they knew it all along.
Yeah.
Should have followed them.
Yeah, so
Hmm.
yeah, Inuit, like they should have known.
Yeah.
They're in the Arctic. They're in their land.
Hmm.
So everyone builds, here's their plan. They build a giant igloo around the bus, and then they
Hmm.
host like a little dance party to like get the heat going in there. And then it warms
That's
up the
cute.
bus, it melts off the ice, it's able to
It's
transform.
getting hot in here.
Wait, no, what was the hit song from 1994? Probably when this came out.
And on some hot stuff. Da-da-da. That was probably that was like probably
It
the
was a little
80s or
before.
something, and I don't
Yeah,
even know.
that's
I
good.
don't know. We'll think of I might think
Anyway,
of
so
another
Michael
one by the end of
Jackson,
this.
Dangerous
Yeah,
just came out like the year before that or
probably. I'm
something.
bad. I'm
Dangerous,
bad.
bad,
Jamal.
really, really bad.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm hot. I'm hot.
Liz is
Really,
moonwalking.
really hot. Yeah. Which also was the 80s. But anyways.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Uh,
So, yes, they're able to, wouldn't you know it, turn the bus into a helicopter. If only they had kept that manual, they could have figured it out beforehand.
hey, a long time ago.
A long time
Hmm.
ago. And yes, they fly back safely. They survive all the way to school. Their parents and families none the wiser, of course.
Hmm. Oh, did you have
Yes.
a good day at school today, honey? Oh, you got a cold? Oh, it's
Yeah.
probably they
Oh,
need to turn that
shucks.
AC down or turn that
Oh
AC up in
yeah.
there.
You
Turn
turn
the
the
heat
heater on
on.
in there.
Hmm.
It's
Where'd the heat
fall
go?
now.
Yes.
It's
Wink,
fall.
wink, nudge, nudge. Saturday morning mysteries. Anyways,
So, yes, that's the end of our main episode. And we
incredible.
cut to our Magic School Bus hotline. We've got our male
Hmm.
producer today, again, R.I.P. Malcolm
Yes.
Jamal Warner, who
Yeah.
explains that, yes, like he basically does, yeah, explain insulation, how we see it every day. Like you were just saying, like our walls are insulated in our homes and
Hmm.
buildings. He also explains why Liz passed out, aka that she's cold-blooded. She didn't have a heat source to heat her up. And he
Liz.
says that also, yeah, in reality, reptiles would just straight up die in the Arctic. And
Sad but
Liz
true.
Liz seems to know this because she clearly has a bone to pick while this little like recap is going on.
Ah,
That she
hilarious.
basically was on death's door
Yeah, she's like,
because
screw you guys for making me film up there. You know how hard that was?
you knew. You knew.
Yeah, I would like my bonus now
Yeah,
for that.
stat. So she sets up her own mini air horn looking thing and
Mm,
shoots the producer, covering him head to toe in lard. And that's the end.
nice. Oh my God.
Yes.
Bravo. Well
Thank
done.
you. Thank you. It was
Well
a
done.
hell of a ride. As they all are
Pun
on the Magic School
intended.
Bus.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell froze over this
Hell
week.
froze over.
Um,
Exactly.
wow, incredible and great way.
Thank you.
Again, just so glad that you got that like actual true crime or like weird
Yeah, weird,
unsolved
crazy thing.
mystery. in there.
Yeah.
I love it when we can do that and we tie
Yeah,
that kind of stuff.
not.
Because, these cartoons are based off of, real stories sometimes, or inspired by,
Yeah.
at least in our minds, they
Like the
are.
Vig.
So, hey, both things can be true.
Yeah, exactly.
And maybe, just maybe, that's what happened to those unfortunate skiers at the Diet Love, whatever pass.
Love, yeah.
We'll never
We don't know
know.
who's to say. So, yes.
Incredible. Great job. Great job.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Mhm.
And between now and next week, Alexis, who should our listeners and viewers tell about our show?
You should tell a skier. I don't think we've done that before.
I don't know.
Maybe we have. I think we've done ski instructor.
I think we've done snowboarder.
Maybe.
I don't think we've done skier.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tell a skier. Ask them their thoughts about that weird mystery too.
Yes.
What do they think? I'm sure they've heard about it. Who should they tell?
After that, I think you should tell, tag on social media, that kind of stuff. You should tell your second favorite podcast show and hosts about our show. Mainly because I name dropped multiple of my other favorite shows on this episode.
Yeah.
You should let your other favorite, obviously because we're number one.
We're number one,
yeah. Tell your second favorite.
That too. I was going to say you should tell Tooth and Claw or Last Podcast on the Left or something, but I was like, nah. I mean, yes, do. But
yes, do. Yeah. But whatever your second favorite is.
Call outs for another day. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Until next week. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for tuning in to Saturday Morning Mysteries.
If you enjoyed this episode, please share, rate, review, leave us a like, and drop a comment. We post episodes every Saturday and bonus tune tangents whenever we feel like it. So please subscribe so you don't miss the shenanigans.
And if you want to follow us on YouTube, click the bell under the YouTube subscribe button to receive notifications when new videos are posted.
And if you want to subscribe to the podcast, we have no idea what you're listening to us on, so just hit the big subscribe button on whatever app you're using. We believe in you.
Give us a follow on Twitter and Instagram at SatmornMist, all the abreves, and let us know if you have any episode or show requests by emailing SaturdayMorningMysteries@gmail.com.
Thanks to Jenna Kendall for the logo design and to Ava Sakiki for the music used during this week's episode.
See y'all groovy kids next week on Saturday Morning Mysteries.